Hola muchachos, ¿qué tal? Buenos días. Aquí tienen el horario para hoy. El warm-up para hoy es selección múltiple, ser o estar. For the warm-up for today, indicate which conjugation of ser or estar you think fits each context. For each of these, we'll do that in the chat. We'll continue the notes that we started last class having to do with the differences between ser and estar. We'll do some more guided practice with that. And that PowerPoint you can access right here by clicking on that hyperlink. We'll do the guided practice on page 87. All of them having to do with the verb estar. The questions, I mean, having to do with the verb estar. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Let me pull it up here. And then in this video, I'll also walk through with you the homework, which I'm actually extending for you so that you can revise it or resubmit it if needed. So this is activity 20 on page 87. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo están tú y las otras personas en estas situaciones? Estas situaciones. Usa adjetivos de la lista para formar frases. So you have adjectives that describe condition or emotion. And remember, that was one of the categories for which we use the verb estar. So for this particular exercise, you know you're going to use the verb estar for all of them because you're talking about the condition or the emotion that these people feel according to these situations. So two things you need to do. The first thing is conjugate the verb estar according to the subject provided here at the very beginning. And then after you conjugate estar, indicate the adjective that you think best fits each of these situations based on the description, the context. So, for example, Carlos toma el sol en la playa. Toma sol en la playa. He's sunbathing at the beach. Carlos está muy contento. He's very happy, right? Número 1, Elena y María van a participar en un concurso. They're going to participate in a competition. Elena y María ellas están nerviosas, entusiasmadas, tranquilas. Tranquilo means tranquil or chill, relaxed, because it kind of depends on their approach to this competition. Maybe nervous or excited or chill. So you're going to pick the adjective that you think best fits, and then conjugate the verb estar according to the subject. The 1, 2, and 3 are in the to form. You're going to respond in the yo form, indicating how you would feel. Number 5 is in the ustedes form, saying you are, you plural, or in a class that you're not interested in. You're going to respond in the nosotros form for number 5. And then number 4 and 6 are talking about other people, your brother and then your best friend. You're going to use the el ella form for those. All right, so that's the guided practice. And then the only other thing we have is reviewing your homework. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. We'll go into courses, pick your respective class. And I've actually, again, I've extended this assignment to be due tomorrow night. So you have a little bit more time to work on it. You can access the worksheet by clicking here and then fill in the blank with the correct form, whether that's the yo form, the to form, etc., the correct form of either the verb ser or estar, and then also use your notes, this acronym that we went over earlier, to indicate why you're using ser or estar. What's the situation? What's the context? Right? Is it date, occupation, characteristic, etc. for ser, or is it one of these situations for estar? So let's spend a couple minutes going over this homework and getting you guys started. Número 1. El profesor no blank en la escuela. The teacher isn't at school. Which verb are we going to use for this one, ser or estar? And what will dictate your decision is the word that comes after the blank, right? Or the word or words that come after the blank will be your clue. Escuela is our clue for number 1. Escuela is a location. Don't worry about what comes at the beginning. That really doesn't have an impact, unless it's in the form of a question. But if it's a statement, don't even really pay much attention to the subject. Pay attention more to what comes afterward, what we call the predicate. And escuela is a location, so we're going to use the verb estar. And then since we're talking about el profesor, we're talking about him, we're going to use the el form. So the answer for number 1, está, and then don't forget to write the reasoning, would be location. Está, and then the clue you're going to put here, location. Number 2, el libro blank encima de la mesa. Encima. The book is encima de la mesa, on top of the table. Encima is our key word. And that is a description of position. Also the verb estar. And then we're talking about the book, it, el libro. So we're going to use the same form for number 2 as we did for number 1. And that would be the el form, el libro, it. El libro está encima de la mesa. So we have está, and then the reasoning is position. Do a couple more together, and then we'll let you go. El señor Gómez blank de Bélgica. Now, Bélgica you probably don't recognize. You're going to have to go to word reference and look it up. Bélgica is Belgium. País de Europa, European country. So, and we have de here. That's our key word. De is always used when we want to indicate the origin of something. Right? Yo soy de Oakley. Yo soy de Brentwood. Yo soy de Antioch, right? We use de with the verb ser when we want to indicate origin or possession. In any case, it's the verb ser, and since we're talking about el señor Gómez, that would be es, right? Talking about him in the el form. So number 3, es, origin. Número 4, Caracas blank in Venezuela. Venezuela we don't need to look up. That's a country name. South America. But we don't have de as a preposition. Here we have en. En means in, right? Indicating location. Really tricky, right? Because here you have 2 country names. The only difference is that de refers to origin and en refers to location. And since we're talking about Caracas, which is a city name, we're talking about it. We're going to use that same form, the él, ella, usted form. He, she, or it. These can translate to it as well. So that's está. Caracas está en Venezuela. 5, 6, and 11, I've indicated in the instructions that those are all estar, and the reasoning is action. The book hasn't introduced us to that yet, so we're not going to go over that grammar. But that is your homework given a one-day extension for this assignment for today's class.